What's up, everybody? I am Tanner, and you are listening to the All You Can Hear podcast. And today we are going to be spoiling and reviewing Avengers Endgame. And with me, as per usual,
Colt.
It's Pat.
Wenzel.
It's Cosmic Cody.
Wow.
Trying way too hard at midnight.
Yeah, that was a little.
It is fucking. Is it midnight yet?
Yeah.
It's midnight 6.
And we just ate a breakfast.
Yeah. Several of us ate what IHOP now calls a breakfast. Some of us were normal and only ate cheesecake, pancakes, and an omelet. I don't know if you'd call that normal.
Well, let's just say Cody is filled with many different meats right now.
Yeah, Cody.
I am too. I ate everything.
I had someone else's sausage, and bacon as well. So
And
my
some
God.
of my cheese.
and a little bit of cheese.
Never mind. Cody takes
A
And a
strawberry
vanilla
milkshake.
milkshake.
Strawberry milkshake.
Fuck,
Milkshake.
strawberry.
Cody takes the cake.
2 pancakes. 2. I had 4 pieces. Okay, let me just go. Can I just break this down real quick?
Break it down.
Welcome
I
to
had-
Endgame, by the way.
4 sausages, 4 pieces of bacon, 2 pieces of ham, some hash browns, 2 sunny side up eggs, 2 pieces of French toast, 2 pancakes, and a strawberry milkshake,
Man.
and a pinch of Colt's cheese.
Did you say French toast?
Yeah, he did.
I did.
Okay. just make
I
sure.
kept track of it
And
all.
like a glass. I think I had 1 glass of water.
Yeah. That makes it good.
Yeah.
No, it was funny because I looked at the menu and it says the breakfast is 13 to 1400 calories. I was like, oh my fucking God, I really want this, but I can't do this.
Only 1,400?
Yeah, but then I realized I haven't eaten anything all day. That's literally like my entire day's worth of food right there. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm getting it.
Man, well, it will be somebody's at this table's end game later tonight, but who's? Stay tuned.
Probably mine.
Cody.
Yeah, Cody,
I'm
for sure.
I'm already fucking passing gas every 5 seconds.
So, it shouldn't have to be said, but we will say it anyways. Spoilers lie ahead for
Spoilers.
Avengers
Fucking
Endgame.
big
Lots of them.
ass
Spoilers.
Big old spoilers.
Like tons of spoilers.
I would say
How many spoilers?
A lot.
A lot of spoilers.
I would say every spoiler.
a lot of spoilers.
I'm going to
Everything's
guess
spoiled.
3 spoilers.
At least a million.
At least
4.
infinity.
Lots of spoilers. Everybody, can we just say spoilers one more time?
Yeah, I think there's going to be
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
I would say
Now.
spoilers.
All right,
Spoilers.
Cole, I need you to drop that spoiler on us.
Please, for fucking
Thanos
God's-
gets fucking beheaded in the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Wow.
Yep.
And Iron Man dies.
It's funny because the phrase we decided on was Thanos dies. Cole just pauses, thinks about it.
He was gonna say Iron Man dies.
Yeah.
Well, no, I thought Colt interpreted it as him. I thought Colt was going to say big spoiler, and that was it.
Yeah, I was too.
I was like, great.
That's the reason why I gave it over to Colt, because I was just hoping I was ready
Colt,
for some
do
randomizer, and he did both.
Man, well, yeah, those are spoilers, all right.
So first off, the movie's 3 hours long.
3 hours long, but honestly, I wanted to go on.
I was sad that it was ending.
I was
Yeah.
too.
And the thing is, as this is all happening, I was like, man, this movie's long, but I'm loving. Yeah, like everybody said, I'm loving every minute of it.
I was about to do that though, but
I'm loving it.
But
Ooh.
it did not feel 3 hours. Like, I mean, obviously, like, we all went in super hyped for the movie, so like, but I mean, 3 hours is still 3 fucking
I mean, I
hours.
know we're not doing a scene by scene breakdown,
Yeah.
but like starting off with Hawkeye losing his family.
Oh, yeah.
that hit fucking.
That hit hard
But
as
that-
shit.
That intro was so fucking good.
It was good, and then when the it's funny because they were like the Russo brothers or whoever, Kevin Feige was like, yeah, the trailers only show like 15-20 minutes of like the very beginning of the movie. I was like, what the fuck? Like, there's no way. And exactly everything that you see in the trailers takes place literally the beginning of the movie.
Pretty much. There was one scene that I would say felt from the trailers that falls outside of the first 30 minutes.
It was when Hawkeye and Ant-Man doing their little business, like Ant-Man flipping over a waterfall and then and Hawkeye running in a tunnel.
Well, I was going to say it was when Tony and Cap shake hands before they flash again.
Oh yeah, totally.
I just want to get this out there. Did anybody expect this shit? What happened? in
No.
this
So-
movie?
I wasn't at all.
Did not expect any of it.
So before we go in, we should definitely say, I think by this point, most everybody guessed that there was going to be some sort of time travel component to the movie,
Yeah.
which 100% spot on
Yeah.
there is. The way they do it, though, No.
Well, we knew that it was going to go through the
Quantum realm.
Yeah.
Through the quantum realm. We knew it was going to go through the quantum realm. We knew. We just didn't know how. We didn't know the pieces of it. So I think the movie is kind of split up into 3 huge parts. I think that are important.
Per hour.
One per.
Some could say 3 acts.
Yeah, 3 acts, right? 3 major parts. The first one, of course, is the kind of aftermath /
acceptance, maybe.
Well,
I don't even know if it's acceptance. It's more like
there was
just grief.
There was an
Yeah.
introduction. So the introduction, of course, was before they even ran the Avengers. Of course, you had the introduction scene, which I'm not going to scene by scene, but in that first introduction was right before they said, Avengers Endgame. We had the scene where Thanos gets his head cut off. After that starts the 3 acts, and then you have 3 acts, and then you have the ending, right?
Yeah.
The first act is them figuring out time travel, them kind of doing the Avengers gathering everybody scene like they had in the first movie,
Ant-Man shooting out of the fucking quantum realm.
and them heading into the quantum realm to do what they need to do. Second act is, of course, what they do is they end up going and getting the
Infinity Stones.
Infinity Stones because they feel like if they bring the Infinity Stones to the future, they can then snap them and then bring all life back.
Yeah.
Which has been a common theory since the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
Since the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
Which turns out to be the case, right? And so that is the second act. And then I'm just going to imagine you either have people who don't give a shit about spoiling themselves and or the people who have already watched Endgame listening to this.
Well, I imagine if you're listening to this, you've either watched it or don't care.
Yeah, that's what I'm
exactly
saying.
what Cody
said.
Wow.
Wow, thanks.
I was
Tanner.
agreeing.
Keep it up. So going from that, anything that I'm not going to explain everything because I'm going to imagine everyone's already seen it. And then in the third act, you have the final battle between past Thanos fighting against everybody.
Yeah. And the thing is too, there was that one theory or rumor that they're like, yeah, they're gonna be fighting past Thanos. Fucking spot on.
Yeah.
Like not spot on with Thanos fighting past Thanos or whatever, but
Yeah.
whoever said past Thanos would be in the movie. Good job.
Yeah, because when we say current Thanos, like Thanos from Infinity War, dies in the first 15 minutes, that's probably overselling it a little bit because it's probably legit the first 5 or 10 minutes of the movie.
That was pretty sick.
Thor cuts his head off.
Yeah,
He's
Thor,
I aim for his head.
Literally, they that was also surprising too. They were already going into space. I was like, why the fuck are they going into space already?
Yeah.
They get Tony Stark out of space and they go back to
yeah.
space real fast.
I don't know if I said it on podcast at some point, but at some point I was like, Captain Marvel's probably going to get Tony out of space. That's exactly what happened.
Oh yeah, like that. I think we talked about that for our Captain Marvel review, especially with the post-credit scene. So the post-credit scene, if you haven't seen Captain Marvel, is literally Captain Marvel coming down to Avengers headquarters and being like, "Where's Nick?" And they're all like, "Oh fuck, who's this lady?"
Yeah.
That scene's not in the movie, but that scene, you need to see that scene before you watch this movie, or else you're like, well, "How the fuck did she get her?"
Yeah, because
it's crazy that an end scene literally
explains
I guess Infinity War's end scene is very important because it shows her being paged, but the second end scene being the one at the end of Captain Marvel being incredibly important.
Yeah.
Because without the end scene, it makes no sense why the fuck she's there.
Yeah, nope, it absolutely does not. So go in with that. I would also say this movie requires the most prior knowledge of the previous movies.
I mean,
fuck yeah.
This movie's not good. I don't know how good this movie would be from a story or plot perspective if you did not already.
But at the same time, how would you watch it anyways?
Yeah, exactly. This is movie 22, so it feels weird to me to be like, well, I'm going to go into Endgame and watch Endgame. Endgame was not made for that to be somebody's first movie. Endgame was definitely made for the people that have been on this journey.
Day one, baby. Iron Man 1, baby.
For the last 11 years. That movie was that. Because, it references all 3 Iron Mans at some point. It references every Thor, every Captain America's referenced. I would say good half of the movies in the MCU are referenced here.
Have like
Maybe
a direct
more.
reference.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a direct reference, or like during the time travel scenes, like a direct like shot
Yeah.
for shot. It was
Here's
not a
fucking
recreation.
Star-Lord dancing at the beginning of Guardians.
Yeah,
and gets fucking knocked out. That was really good.
And then like when
Captain America's in the elevator.
yeah, Captain America's in the elevator from Winter Soldier, and then like they do the whole Avengers pan around thing from the end of Avengers 1, where when Team New York gets to New York to
Cap's suit was so bad.
oh
Yeah.
that's so I rewatched Avengers like within the past week, and that's the only thing that throws me off about that movie. I think Avengers is a fucking phenomenal film.
I thought you hated it.
I did the last time I watched it. I think maybe that's just because we shit on it for 2 hours and we were watching it just like let's get our bits in. But watching it alone, it's like, man, this movie.
See, that's why you got to focus.
This movie's real fucking good. But yeah, those costumes look rough. Like
Oh, yeah.
Iron Man had the only half decent looking one.
Yeah.
like
He was the moneymaker.
yeah, I mean, true. And it's so, I mean, it's wild. Like, even there's like some just random one off. So, okay, we need to mention this also before we continue. Tony Stark has a kid.
Yeah, yeah, no. And also, people who said there was a time skip, completely accurate.
But
5 years.
5-year time skip. It skips right after literally Thor beheads Thanos and goes, I aimed for the head, and then it like slowly gets unfocused, and then screen fades to black, and then it says 5, and then it just stays on the word 5 for a minute, and then it says years later, and everybody's like, oh my god.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Theater
Everybody's
reaction.
so old. Everybody has gray hair. They're all like gross.
Theater reaction was good. Yeah, we should also mention too that as soon as Tony got back to Earth, had a real bad argument fit with Captain America.
Yeah.
And then we were assuming that literally right after that, bam, impregnates Pepper.
Yeah.
I am looking feral and weak.
What do you mean impregnates? She was pregnant before in Infinity
No,
War.
she wasn't.
They were trying.
They were
were
trying.
trying.
She wasn't pregnant yet.
Yeah.
That kid wasn't 5.
I swear to God, I thought she was.
That kid was like
That kid was like 3 or
4
4
tops.
But
No,
anyways,
that kid had to be 5. I'm assuming they literally.
As soon as he got back, he's like, "Fuck time. I'm about to die. I need sex."
Yeah, no, I was literally thinking like, no, they're gonna get back, make a baby.
Yeah.
Then that baby's
I
gonna
mean,
be.
that kid maybe was 5, but she was not pregnant in Infinity War. Or
Yeah.
if she was, it was never said.
No, if
I'm
she-
pregnant.
No, they were literally. Tony had a
Yeah.
dream where he talked about them having a child, and then they were talking about names, and he was like, I like the name Morgan or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
So, there's so many. It's a 3-hour movie, so there's obviously, especially if you've just like been on the ride that is the MCU, there's just a ton of little things. Like, I mean, we could sit here for 6 hours and do scene by scene breakdown of like, wow, that was incredible. But like, who's gonna listen to that? So, but when like the first time, so I teared up multiple times watching
hell
this.
yeah.
I think everybody here probably teared up multiple times, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. But the first time I teared up, like the Hawkeye's family thing, I was like, I knew as soon as they were doing it, I'm like, fuck. These kids are getting ashed.
Yeah.
When Tony gets off the ship and like Robert Downey like looked fucking frail, like
Yeah.
I mean, he
He
definitely
looked
dropped some
sick.
weight for that scene. For that
How
little
long
section.
was he in space?
3 weeks.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
do
No.
you deteriorate that fast?
Well, I mean,
he
if
just
you're
didn't
not-
have any food.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not eating, and I would assume, and also in space, and still working like on the ship and stuff. Anyways, he gets off the ship and he looks at Cap and like they embrace, and then he just looks at Cap like dead in the eyes and goes, "I lost the kid," talking about Peter.
Yeah.
and I'm just like, oh my god,
That made me tear up. I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
No, like literally, like their fight, like Tony's fight with Steve, it also teared me up because I'm just like there was so much frustration.
Yeah.
because he was trying so hard to protect the Earth, and like they failed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because Steve was talking about, he was like, well, if we fail, we fail together, and Tony's like, we already did.
Yeah,
But,
we did that together, and
Yeah.
look what happened.
Yeah, then-
like we're not even whole anymore either.
like the first 30 minutes of the film is like
Depressing.
pretty depressing,
Pretty heartbreaking. Yeah,
Like even the colors are like muted, like
Yeah.
more muted than like normal for MCU standards, and like it's really not there's probably one moment of comedy I would say in the first half hour, and like
That's like Iron Man and Nebula playing paper football.
playing paper.
Oh,
football,
that was a fun little scene.
which is just like they know they're about to die.
I did enjoy that quite a bit, like that Iron Man Nebula like friendship
Dynamic.
Yeah.
Nebula was phenomenal.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Whenever Rocket put his hand on Nebula's hand, and they were like,
Oh, that's when the tears came.
Yeah.
I was like, mm-mm.
Yeah.
He's showing emotions. Rocket. That's sad.
It made me it made me happy that they really highlighted some of the minor characters throughout that have been sort of minor characters throughout the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Nebula's not a minor character.
I mean, she.
but like,
But definitely more in the background.
yeah,
Yeah.
Hawkeye has always been in the background. I
Hawkeye
mean,
was fucking cool.
yeah,
Like,
he
this
was-
is the
yeah.
coolest he's ever been in anything.
Yeah.
You're not a fan of his acting, a little stale.
He's fucking 70 years old. Did you not see how old he was?
Jeremy Renner is not 70.
He's not
No.
looking too young.
Yeah. Yeah. It's still a fun character.
My favorite part about Hawkeye in this movie is like, as soon as his family starts asking, he's like, well, "Fuck it, I got to start murdering."
Yeah.
and it gets like this.
Yeah, they never
definitely-
explain that shit.
They never.
I didn't even need it to be explained because
No.
it cut to Tokyo and he's killing fucking
Yakuza.
and he has a badass sword fight.
Yeah, oh my god,
And
that was
that
really-
whole scene.
was anime as hell.
It was anime as
Yeah.
hell, and the voice,
one of many.
the guy, the Japanese guy he was killing, was dramatic as shit, and I loved it. It reminded me of something straight out of the Yakuza games.
Yeah, I like obviously I don't know if I would call this movie action heavy because again it is a 3-hour movie, so
It's
but
it's
like-
actually less action heavy than I felt than the other movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like most of the action you see is at the end.
yeah. But that being said, the whole third act is action.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you get action sprinkled through the first 2 acts, but that third act, I mean, is balls to the fucking wall.
Man, I just something I recently learned too, that like Hawkeye's name whenever he takes on the persona is Ronin. It is
Yeah.
confirmed it's called Ronin.
Yeah, I think maybe Nebula called him Ronin.
No,
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 I-
they were talking about Ronan, the guy from the leader of the the fuck. No,
From Guardians 1.
No, Ronin the Accuser?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Ronin the Accuser. I'm talking about, like, because recently I looked at the pops
Yeah.
that were releasing.
Means
And I
straight up
remember,
Ronin.
yeah, no, because I remember earlier we looked at it and it was just called Hawkeye, and we were like, and everybody was like, oh yeah, they wouldn't call him Ronin or whatever, like kind of like Nomad, but no, like they changed it, so now it's Ronin. So
Yeah.
I just thought that was an interesting little tidbit.
Speaking of characters going through dramatic changes, Hulk.
Oh,
Oh,
my
fuck,
god,
yeah.
that was
unexpected.
that was unexpected. We knew it was going to happen, didn't know when. Very early in the movie.
Like so.
The thing is, I prefer this Hulk than any other.
Oh
third
yeah,
round.
yeah.
Because like at this point, like he's Hulk all the time, but he's fully conscious and like
There's-
has his banner senses.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
working together just to be friendly.
I mean,
macho friend guy.
yeah. They're. I mean, they are what they always were. One entity.
Yeah, and they mentioned that it happens during the time skip because he even says he's like, this took me 18 months in the lab.
Yeah.
and that's kind of like how they get Hulk to jump on board with the time travel thing. They're like, well, you said that was impossible, so come with us and do this. And he's
Yeah.
like, well, fuck. But also the one thing that threw me off is is Professor Hulk like a for real thing? Like, I mean, do they call like when Hulk and Banner become one? Is that called Professor Hulk or is
I
that?
mean, I guess it just depends, like which part of the comics you're reading. Because
Yeah.
like it's been more than one time where
Yeah.
Hulk and Banner are like they're together, they're in sync, But like I really enjoyed like because this is really the first time that Banner's had like a self-confidence. Like
Yeah.
he's finally stopped running from the Hulk. It's like the reason why Hulk was so bad because he was afraid of it, and that's what made Hulk as bad as he was.
He's not. And there's comedic elements that have been dropped along the lines with Banner that they really didn't like. His personality kind of shined through sometimes. Not Avengers 1, but definitely shined through in Ragnarok and in Infinity War. I think I don't remember much comedy there, but there were definitely Ragnarok. There was a lot of like personality with Banner, but now that him and Hulk are together, he's like fully confident, fully full personality, and it's fun. It's a different. It's a totally different character in a way, but also
because the face
a lot better too. Yeah.
They've made the face now more sculpted after Mark Ruffalo's face.
Yeah.
So it's like Hulk, but like Mark Ruffalo face. And the first time I saw it, I was like, whoa. That just threw me off a little.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not Hulk. But then I was like, oh, fuck, this is what happened.
Yeah, it's like a perfect blend.
Yeah.
It's a mid-transformation.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. Just because like he also has facial hair as well.
Yeah.
And Hulk doesn't have facial hair.
Yep.
He magically shaves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, this version of Hulk like wears clothes, don't like
Very
shirts
fashionable.
and shit.
I love it. I love
Doesn't
it.
wear shoes, but wears clothes.
He's
But I
a
mean,
hippie.
come on. Does he really need to wear shoes?
I mean,
Look how good he
Why
looks.
not?
Look how good his toes look.
now,
Suckable.
I was about to say, answer me this: do you think Hulk sells feet pics?
You know what did everybody think about Ronan? Hawkeye's hair.
It looks so bad because he
Okay.
looks so fucking old.
But-
Okay, he kind of looks like maybe those little troll dolls, little trolley
Yes,
dolls.
yes.
He looked like one of those trolley dolls.
Okay, good.
But his arm tattoo was badass.
No,
I was going to say that was even worse than the haircut.
the arm tattoo.
He was a fucking samurai.
It would be neat if like it's just like this. It reminded me of what was it? Jared Leto that played the American Yakuza. It kind of reminded me of that. It's like, this is me now, and it's just like, okay, you're doing a little much. First off,
All
where'd
he
you
has
get
is
the
a
tattoo?
fucking tattoo.
Yeah,
Well, speaking of hair, I just thought it was funny. It took 5 years for Black Widow's blonde to grow out. Like, what's up with that?
that's what threw me off too. I'm like, okay, we get that you haven't dyed your hair in 5 years. Why do you still have blonde?
Oh yeah, Black Widow's dead.
Oh my god! I could will like out of
Sorry
all,
to interrupt. I
you
just
know,
remembered that.
There's Hawkeye.
Oh yeah, there's Hawkeye.
I mean, even the face.
If you shave off the sides just a little bit, so a little bit of the scalp shows, yes, that's Hawkeye.
Look up
Hawkeye.
Troll Doll, for the young audience out there.
The young audience.
Yeah, no, out of all the characters that died, did not expect Black Widow.
Black Widow had the 50 because I mean, if you're a betting man or a betting person, you could have bet on the movie, which that sounds like some degenerate shit. But anyways, and like Black Widow at one point had like 50-1 odds of dying. I'm like, man, somebody probably made a couple of bucks betting on Black Widow dying because I did not. So mention Black Widow and Hawkeye go to retrieve the Soul Stone. And if you know from Infinity War, you got to trade a soul for a soul.
They're just fucking hanging out,
Yeah.
chilling together. I mean, didn't Nebula know?
She had to. I mean, she said. Well, they even mentioned it while they're on Vormir. They're like, "Yeah, Thanos killed his own daughter to get this stone." So they very well knew.
I mean, somebody down the line they had to figure out that. Oh fuck.
Yeah,
I mean, they had to piece together.
I mean, they were probably.
Although theoretically, I guess Hawkeye wouldn't have known since Hawkeye has been MIA for.
No, they should have filled him in.
Well, you would think, but
Oh my god, there's another bit I have to get. There's so many bits in here. The one where Scott Lang has like essentially been on the team now, and like everybody has like a dynamic where like even Nebula was calling Rhodes Rhodey.
Yeah.
I love that. But then whenever his taco gets blown away, Hulk comes up and gives him 2 more tacos.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was
the whole theater was kind of like, aw.
yeah, literally. I gotta say, watching these sort of like huge, like big, like huge movies
Personalities.
you have to do it in a full theater. Like, I feel like that's not the only way to watch Endgame, obviously, but like if you can get there like opening weekend or like opening week and get in with like a packed audience, like that, like just hearing everybody's reactions too in real time,
It adds to
Love
the
it adds to the
Yeah.
experience in a way. Like the same way I feel with Star Wars and how I felt with Infinity War and how
Because
I'll feel watching movies for
Ever.
but
Yeah.
forever. Yeah.
It's just so cool to be part of this like shared collective experience. Like we're all like experiencing this in the same time, and you just get to see it and feel it.
And then, like, I mean, we saw the earliest showtime at our theater, so like everybody in there, unless they read spoilers, is experiencing all of this for the first time.
Yeah.
So it's not like you have somebody in there who's like, I've already seen it 4 times. It's like, no, motherfucker, this is your first.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one girl behind us fucking boohooing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, there was so
end.
much sniffling at the very
It
end.
wasn't full. It was full on fucking wailing
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the end of
Oh yeah.
This movie.
God.
I mean, and literally one girl got so mad. She's like, "They're so fucking stupid."
Oh yeah, there was a girl behind us, like at the end. She was like, "It's just so fucking stupid.
Oh, that-
Why he would do that?"
Yeah.
We'll
No,
get
I
there.
heard that. Oh, and after Bruce gives Scott 2 tacos, they go to fucking New Asgard, and they find fucking Thor.
Fat Thor.
Fat
Thor!
Did not expect when I say the trailers don't tell you anything, they really don't, because the entire time they're showing off Thor, slim, muscular, as usual,
Yeah.
fat, long-haired, fuck.
Big beard Thor.
It's Odin Thor. It's Allfather Thor, Odin Thor,
Yeah.
whatever his name.
And also, whenever they confirmed a while ago that Valkyrie did make it off, and with all the rest of the Asgardians,
Meeks and Korg
Meeks and Korg were fucking there too.
Yeah.
Meeks
playing Fortnite and eating pizza.
Okay, that sounds like a bit. Literally, Meeks, Korg, and Thor were in his hut or whatever playing fucking Fortnite.
And literally, Thor grabs the mic at some point and calls out one of the players, and he's like, "I'll come there and fucking beat the shit out of
And
And
you."
his
rip
name-
your arms off and shove them up your butt.
Yeah,
There's a
that's
lot
what-
of
that's what he
cussing
said.
in this movie.
Yeah, like a surprising amount of.
Like they said ass 4 or 5 times in like the span of like 10 minutes.
They said shit. They said goddamn like
Yeah.
2-3
No,
times.
they didn't say shit.
They also showed a guy getting his head cut off.
fuck. That
This
too.
was the most. I'm surprised it didn't get an R rating. Honestly,
It's definitely like a PG-13.
It's definitely a like I expected at some point. I don't know who would have said it. Like if it had been Tony or Cap, I expected to fuck.
You know, I was expecting like there might be a fuck in here.
Yeah, I was too. Especially after Cap dropped his shit, where he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Oh man, we getting a fuck in this movie."
Okay, that part right there when Cap fought Cap,
Yeah.
that was good.
Yeah, it was.
that was very good.
There,
I was hoping for that. I was hoping for someone to fight someone. I thought there was going to be more of that actually.
Yeah.
and there's so many references to even like the comics because when so Cap, Hulk, Thor, Cap, Hulk, Iron Man, and Ant-Man, they go to 2012 New York. So first Avengers movie, New York, to retrieve
3 stones.
3 of the stones. It's the Time Stone, the
Mind Stone, and the Space Stone.
And the Space Stone. So while they're in Stark Tower, the people who the original Avengers, this is going to get real time fuckery here, but just bear with me. The people who they thought the shield they thought was getting the Tesseract and the spear and stuff turns out to be Hydra. We find out later.
Hell Hydra.
Yeah. So Captain America gets on the elevator, and it looks like a scene perfect recreation. Like I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh fuck, they're about to do the elevator scene from Winter Soldier. Oh fuck, that's
Yeah.
like one of my favorite scenes in all of these movies. Like, oh, I was super hyped, and then like Cap, to avoid the conflict, he just leans like forward and he just goes, "Hail Hydra," and I'm just like, oh
Shit, and just walks out with the fucking scepter with
Yeah.
the Mind
The
Stone.
theater exploded.
Yeah,
The nut was on the floor.
I nutted because it was just because it was just like it was
what a
just,
casual comment to John.
because it was just like Cap was like, "Trust me." I'm like, "What the fuck is he gonna do?" And then he just says it. I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
He just fucking said it.
Yeah, it was. I like this movie. I feel like, if you're listening to this and haven't seen any of the Marvel movies, you know,
What are you doing?
I commend you at this point, but like this movie really needs to be experienced because I mean nothing like this has ever been done, and likely will not be done until Marvel and Kevin Feige and the gang decided like, oh fuck it, we're doing it again.
We're doing it again.
With, you know, Saga 2 or whatever. But, like, I mean, this is the culmination of 21 movies, and it truly feels like a culmination of 21 movies. Like, I mean, there's shit from Hulk. I mean, like
There's
I
stuff
said.
from Hulk in there?
Well, I mean, like Hulk, but, like, they, like, because in original Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, they talk about, like, combining brain and brawn together.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it can't be done. But, you know, a lot of people tend to think of Incredible Hulk as non-canon, which holds true until at the very end when Tony Stark shows up at the end of Incredible Hulk and is like, hey, let me tell you about this Avengers initiative, dude. And it's like, okay, hit me up. But anyways, so, but I mean, they reference, like I said, all 3 Iron Mans, all 3 Captain Americas, all 3 Thors, both Guardians. I mean, so every, you know, the prior 3 Avengers. I mean, like everything.
It was like a mashup of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And like that sounds like a lot because it is, but they do it so well. So like one of the things I was most impressed with Infinity War is how they managed to juggle three pretty much cast of characters all doing separate things all throughout the movie and it being coherent. Well, they do that here too, but they do it every act, and every act it's a different combination of three characters. And in like in Act 2, you can probably say it's four group of characters with Thanos and Gamora and past Nebula. So you can probably say it's four groups. And the fact that it's coherent at all, and not only that, but like enjoyable, and like you walk out of there not having any questions really. Like, I mean, it's as big as of a conclusive statement as Marvel's ever done. Yeah. Like it felt like a true ending.
The only question you really had was what the hell's next?
Yeah, I mean, which has nothing. Which is what they want.
Yeah, which I mean, we have Far From Home, but that doesn't.
Still this cycle.
Yeah, I mean that's just Spider-Man stuff. Who cares? No,
hold on.
No.
See Spider-Man.
I mean, do you not see my keychain right now?
Winsel's just holding his keychain that has two Spider-Mans on it.
Yep. Also, time travel weird. I should say that.
It was basically every rule we know about time travel in popular culture. It's just like non-applicable here. Yeah, you can just do whatever the fuck you want in time travel.
That's pretty much what they even said. Whenever like literally Colonel Rhodey bring it up, and so does Ant-Man, Scott Lang. They bring it up, and they're like, "Fuck no." They're like, "That's not how that works."
Because Rhodey's literally like, "Why can't we just go back in time and kill baby Thanos?" Like literally,
he even does a visual bit where like
Garrot.
Yeah.
A what?
Garrot. Garrot.
I don't.
It's what you use to choke someone to death.
Oh. I wouldn't know.
Somebody doesn't play Hitman. Loop.
You're right. This whole table. But anyways,
no, nobody plays it.
But like they even reference that. So they do this whole bit. They're like, "You mean time travel's not like Hot Tub Time Machine, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Back to the Future?"
They name off
Hot
so
Tub
many.
Time Machine.
Yeah.
They name off so many movies.
And here's the thing: like I think one of the major things that they were trying to do there was to establish the laws of this time travel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas other movies are just like, whoa, crazy, wacky, time warbly stuff happens.
Don't talk to yourself or you'll die.
We didn't know that this was going to happen. And they just decide to go in and they lay it down. They're like, okay, straight up, all the bullshit you've seen before in other movies, wrong.
Yeah.
We're doing it our way. This is how it's going to be done. You know, you're not going to have the crazy bullshit. There's not going to be super, like, awful consequences. And then Tony at the end then says, well, or I think it was Tony. It was one of them that said, when you mess with time travel tends to mess back or something like that.
Yeah, Tony.
Yeah. So I'm interested. I mean, it's interesting because, like, obviously this could be a good, because, you know, when you talk about the future, we were talking about this earlier, about the future of a big series like this, you got to find for things to latch on to that kind of drive the villains, because, you know, without superheroes, you know, superheroes are there to just kind of like equalize everything, make everything just, and whereas villains they have motives, and most villains aren't just to be totally awful and bad. Thanos is, I mean, we even said it whenever we reviewed the original one, like, his intentions, or not intentions, but his thoughts, the thought behind, like, the lack of resources, the resources being used, you know, and the suffering that comes along with overpopulation, like, those are real thoughts. So villains, and we saw it in Black Panther too, like, real villain thoughts. You don't just have me bad guy, I'm just doing bad for bad's sake.
Yeah.
A lot of, I mean,
and Thanos even says in this movie, he's like, I don't do anything I do because of malice. I do it because of necessity.
And there was one point he said, I have never done any of this out of resentment, but what I'm about to do to your planet definitely is.
Yeah.
And it's gonna make me real happy.
He was like, what I'm gonna do to your annoying little planet, I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah. Like, it's the first time that Thanos, like, obviously Thanos is like truly evil because he's like, I'm going to kill trillions of things.
Well, he literally said, I mean, like, because in Infinity War, he's very, he has his own just cause, and then maybe not just cause, he has his own cause.
And he's on the rise in Infinity War. So like by the time we meet him in Infinity War, he's already got 2 stones.
Yeah. In this one, he has no stones, and he's pissed off to the point to where, at this point, he's like, "You've changed my mind.
Yeah.
You've shown me with all this time travel bullshit that if I leave life to fester, it will come to bite me in the ass. So I'm going to wipe out everything and remake it in my image."
Yeah. So like it's truly like Mad Titan Thanos.
Yeah. Like no, he goes all out. Like he truly like goes on.
He's there to kill every single person in the universe and remake it in his own image.
Yep. Yeah. And then he was like, the people who who knew they were once alive, they'll never know because those people were dead.
Yep. And you won't be around. And he tells the Avengers, and you won't be around to see it because you're about to die.
Yep.
And that's when the battle kind of ensues and gets real serious. It's real good. But the thing that kind of, and again, we were talking about the things that you latch on to. What will the next villains latch on to? Like if you're talking galactic villains, I mean, you could talk about like, oh, these are the motherfuckers that killed Thanos. These are the motherfuckers who that controlled the Infinity Stones and activated them twice in a row within like a 30-minute span.
Yeah.
That's something that galactic people can see. You have the idea that suddenly half the Earth goes away. And then suddenly, I mean, even Captain America himself said that he saw whales. He saw whales in the harbor as he was going over the bridge.
Yeah, he said the water was cleaner because there was less boats.
There was less boats, less people, less boats. And so there was a positive to the fact that 4 billion people disappeared. You have the fact that ideology now has been implanted in a good majority of people, saying, "Oh shit, life was better without that other half." I mean, I'm sad that my dog poofed. But, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then you have, you have the idea that what maybe their ideas of time travel were wrong. And so now time travel has consequences.
Like one of the things we see is like while Tony and Ant-Man are trying to get the Tesseract, it falls out of the suitcase and 2012 Loki grabs it and 2012
leaves.
Loki escapes.
Yeah.
Yep. And
so we don't see Loki again.
And it was funny too because we were in IHOP and I was like, this movie confirms Loki's fucking dead. But then I think it was you, Cole, that somebody brought it up and I was like, I literally grabbed my head. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, fuck.
Like, is Loki dead?
Yeah, because it's like what happens now? Because I mean, whenever they go, fuck this time travel, whatever. Gamora from the past literally time travels to the future, and it's like the future Gamora is still dead, but this Gamora is still alive and in present timeline. So it's like, what the fuck, do you do about that?
Yeah. So like we have 9 years, and now we should also mention the entire MCU now is 5 years or 4 years ahead of us because Infinity War took place in 2018. So I assume it's 2023 in Endgame. So that means in 2014 they jumped forward 9 years. I think they even say like 9 years ago or something to that effect. So I assume it's 2023. So like we have Gamora like pre-Guardians Gamora now, but now in the timeline where the Guardians have existed with Gamora. And just that version of Gamora is dead. There's some real fuckery going on here.
Wait a minute. I think Endgame does take place in 2019. Because didn't they say that they went 5 years back to 2014 to go to Morag?
No,
no, that's just them time traveling.
No, Infinity War was
that is time travel.
No, I know, but like the 5 years in the future is from the Infinity War.
Yeah,
Infinity War takes place in 2016, 2017.
No, Infinity War is 2018, and then we get the 5 years later after Thor kills Thanos.
My bad. Yeah, no, you're right. Sorry.
So they go back like 9. Well, in some case, they go back 11 years to go back to the original Battle of New York, and then.
Who fucking cares about the timeline of the MCU?
Let me tell you this. It's real messed up now.
And somebody said that Endgame's like sort of similar to Rick and Morty. They were kind of right as well.
Well, in the sense where they're just like, we're the creators of this timeline. We'll do whatever.
Whenever Cody was trying to explain in IHOP about the different realities and stuff, I was like, fuck me. Like, that's like different, different realities, but different times and different realities.
So the idea is that is it Grandmaster? What's the name of the?
Well, it was the
Sorcerer Supreme.
The Sorcerer
Tilda
Supreme
Swinton.
before
The ancient
Doctor
one.
Strange.
The ancient
Yeah,
one.
so Tilda Swinton, she explained just Tilda Swinton, not even the Sorcerer Supreme, just Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, it was so
That's,
weird.
that's not a character.
I'm such a fan of her. I love Tilda Swinton.
She's awesome.
She's great, yeah.
But she explains that the Infinity Stones make up our reality and our timeline. And our timeline flows like a river. When one of the stones is taken to out of its place, then that creates a branch where that stone no longer exist within that space, and that branch and any chaos that comes from that ensues. So Banner, not Bannon. Good God!
Yeah, we should mention that Bruce Banner, Professor Hulk, was the one sent to go get the time stone.
from Tilda Swinton.
Yeah,
Which also confirms that, like, because I know there's always a discrepancy. It was like, well, if the fucking, if they were in New York in 2012, why didn't they help? And it confirms, like, she was guarding the building,
the sanctum, whatever.
Yeah,
sanctum,
the sanctum.
Sanctum Sanctorum.
Yeah, so.
And so, she is convinced because Banner, Hulk. Hulk says,
why would Doctor Strange give up the time stone?
Yeah, well, the thing is though is that Hulk says, well, we can bring them back, and she's like, I can't trust you with that.
Yeah,
like if this falls,
I can't give you this because of a promise.
Yeah, it's like I can't trust you with that. I can't trust that you'll bring them back to the right timelines and correct everything. Like, it's weird. And so what ends up happening is she's like, Wenzel said, why did
Doctor Strange
give up the time stone?
Yeah.
Why did he give it up? And he gave it up? And he was like, yeah, maybe you made a mistake. He was like, no, I've made a mistake. And she like puts him back in his body and I don't know, he was a spirit. It's fucking weird.
She did the shit that she did originally to Stephen Strange when he first came there to Bruce, separated him from his body.
She was like, if he gave away the stone, he's supposed to be the best of us. He did it for a purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there you have, I mean, that kind of proves that, like, there was some hints that of course that Strange had sort of
influenced.
Yeah, that he was influenced by what he saw.
Yeah, because like he said that it was one outcome that they ended up winning.
Yeah.
And this is that outcome that what Colt?
Hold
One.
up,
He held up one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at some point Doctor Strange holds up one finger.
It stays
Iron
there
Man.
for a long time, and I was like,
Yeah.
There is some good I do want to talk about some foreshadowing that kind of happens. Some of the foreshadowing. One of them in particular, we always talked about how Tony's arm always is broken. That one arm is always broken, always destroyed.
Yeah.
It gets destroyed with the gauntlet. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So of course Tony, I don't know if we've mentioned it yet, snaps.
Well, we'll say we see that earlier with when they get all the stones, Hulk puts it on.
Oh yeah.
And he snaps, but his right arm is fucked up for the rest of the movie. Like it's dead.
But when
I think his arm's fucked forever.
Yeah.
Because like Thanos' arm was dead after he snapped.
Yeah. And also how they did it was Iron Man just created his own gauntlet with his own technology, and then that's how it fit into Hulk's hand.
Which honestly makes a lot of sense because, like, that was never a theory I saw. Like, most of the theories I saw was always like they're gonna go to fucking Peter Dinklage and he's gonna build them a new glove and all that. Like, that was the more common theory, and I guess I just never even considered. I'm like, oh, of course, fucking Tony's gonna make.
No,
one.
I read one theory where they're like, yeah, no, Hulk's gonna wield the Infinity Gauntlet, but it's gonna be created from Tony Stark's technology.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
that's less of
That's a script.
Winslow read spoilers.
But yeah, so they snap. It works, but literally as they're snapping, should also preface this: Nebula from the future goes back in time with War Machine, which also good interaction, by the way. Love their dynamic.
I want a buddy cop movie with them. But
yeah,
go on.
Go back in time. Gets has like some kind of fucking freak out moment because they're on her past Nebula and future Nebula are on like the same network. So like whatever memories she has, future also past gets. So there's this huge fuck up.
Which is how Thanos
learns
like,
about the future.
Yeah.
So she gets captured. Past Nebula goes to the future.
Well, past Nebula disguises herself as
new future Nebula,
Future Nebula
goes to the future infiltrates their base and fucking
And brings Thanos.
Thanos' ship, shrinks it down. Sanctuary 2 shrinks it down, fucking sends it through their machine, comes through the fucking building and launches missiles at the Avengers base.
And it's just like this massive barrage of missiles.
Yeah.
I thought Ant-Man was
died,
dead.
just
I
like-
thought Ant-Man was fucking gone forever.
No, like when Ant-Man as he's like, "Hey guys, I think it works." Explosion. So you see him shrink for like a split second.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if he's alive or dead.
Yeah, like I really didn't know because it looked like it looks like if you've ever seen that GIF of the person holding the fence and then just like the explosion coming. It's from some movie. I don't know what fucking Terminator.
Jesus, dude.
Excuse me, never seen it. Whatever.
It's all right.
Anyways, holding onto the fence and just fucking. It was that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Scott Lang fucking goes. It looks like he goes flying.
Yeah, but it's just him shrinking.
Yeah, it's just him shrinking.
Which
Because Thanos shit, they lost like 100,000 missiles and blow this.
Man.
Avengers headquarters dies.
But somehow everybody just walks away. It's like,
everybody gets buried under.
Barely. Rocket looked like he was about to die, and I wanted to
Oh
cry.
no, I was crying because he was under some rocks and he's like, I can't breathe. I was like, oh my god, save him! Somebody save him! Save
Don
Mr.
Cheadle died for him.
And fucking when Don Cheadle, he couldn't walk because his back got fucked up because his suit wasn't working. I was crying too. I was like, oh my god, the two essentially weakest members of the team, get them, save them, and then Ant-Man saves them.
I fucking love Ant-Man.
I love Ant-Man. This movie.
All right.
It really makes me because I haven't. Like, it's been a while since I've interacted with Ant-Man. Like, I haven't seen Ant-Man 1 since I saw it in theaters. I haven't seen Civil War in a good bit. And Ant-Man 2 or Ant-Man and the Wasp is still the only MCU movie I haven't seen at this point. So, like, I'm really, like, watching, like, Scott Lang in this movie, I'm like, and Cody and I discussed it a little bit. One, have to have an Ant-Man and Hulk movie, like, now.
Yeah.
God, I'm so excited for that.
I mean, ever since the two tacos, hell yeah.
Yeah, like, it's got to happen. And two, like, good-ass character. Like,
oh, yeah.
Kudos to, because I mean, Paul Rudd's been around for fucking ever. Like, you could
He's
totally
fucking 50.
Yeah, I mean, the dude's 50 years old. Like, you can meld that shit in. Who cares? You're a big. I would consider Paul Rudd a recognizable household name. At least.
Oh yeah.
And like, you could totally meld that in. He's fucking good in this movie.
Oh yeah.
So, and, I mean, he's good in Ant-Man. Just I haven't seen Ant-Man in a while.
Other foreshadowing.
Go ahead.
So we had the arm thing. Other foreshadowing, which was actually in movie, not throughout the series. You probably have one, but I'm about to say a different one.
No, go.
With Tony Stark's father.
Yeah.
It was definitely Stark showing Iron Man dying. Was when he was on the elevator with. Was it an elevator? I guess it was an elevator.
Yeah,
with Stark. With
Howard.
Tony was with his father, and they were of course pretending like, "Oh, I'm just in here as a
MIT
student person thing," and so his father, was like, "Well, I hope my son isn't like me, or I hope it is a daughter. I hope I have a daughter because I don't want to have a son because my son." I don't want him ending up like me, And he was like, "Well, why is that?" And he said, "Well, I'm not a for good of everyone person." What was the term?
Too self-absorbed or something.
Well, he said it's because it comes from the phrase. Oh God, why am I blanking right now? I'm really tired. It's like midnight. It's like almost 1 a.m. here right now. I guess he says the outweigh the many. The need of the few don't outweigh the many, or the need of what I'm saying.
I don't remember him saying
what
that.
was it say?
Basically, he's saying like he didn't see himself as a good enough person because like it's like basically how he made his fortune was like because he was selling like basically making weapons and selling them like not like necessarily war profiteering but kind of like
he's
kind of war.
Howard Stark straight up was.
He's contributing.
Yeah, he's because it was like I'm not a need of the many type person.
Yeah.
Meaning like he definitely isn't the type person that's like, oh, I'm not gonna sell one missile because it could kill a few people type. Mm-hmm. Whereas Tony had become the complete opposite of that. And that was seen at the end of the movie when he goes up to Strange and he's like, you said you saw 14 million. You saw
outcomes.
14 million outcomes, and only we survived one. Is this the one? He said, if I tell you, it won't happen.
Yeah.
And so they're fighting, and suddenly it kind of gets to this kind of turning point, and the glove is sitting on the ground, or no, the glove is in his hand, and Captain Marvel is like getting the shit kicked out of her, to where he looks over at Strange, and Strange looks at him, and Strange just holds up a 1, and that was kind of signal of
whatever you are about to do, you got to do.
This is the one outcome.
Yep.
This is the one outcome, and like also, I also saw it as like you're the sacrifice, as in like you are the one that saves the many. And it was kind of, to me, that was foreshadowed throughout. That was first foreshadowed throughout the entire movie.
No. Really foreshadowed through the. I mean, if you watch the first few Iron Mans, like Tony Stark is a very self-absorbed character, arguably up until the end of Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Like in Iron Man 1, I mean, he's completely self-absorbed, and like it's very much like his father. In the second one, he's more like, oh, this Avenger initiative is bullshit. I'm Iron Man. I'm pretty much a god now. La la la. And then Avengers 3 is where he finally is like, well, maybe I can step back a little bit.
Yeah.
And, so.
My foreshadowing bit was Captain America's shield breaking, because in Age of Ultron, that was part of Tony's vision, was he sees Cap's shield broken, and then during the final battle, which we'll talk about in this bit, is when Thanos is hitting Steve repeatedly with his twin blade. He breaks his fucking vibranium shield, and
just like when Darth Vader was fighting Luke, where Darth Vader was repeatedly bashing Luke, or was it
like
the other
not
way
giving
around?
him a chance to stand up?
No, it was Luke.
Luke bashing Darth Vader.
Yeah.
He was just going ham as hell.
Yeah, like it was a viciousness we really haven't seen from a villain in the MCU.
He wanted
especially
to kill.
Thanos.
Yeah.
Like Thanos was going for the kill.
Which, I mean, anytime I see Thanos like fight, like last movie, in this movie, like I'm like you said, like that viciousness, that aggressiveness, like I'm worried somebody's gonna die.
Yeah, and it's so weird too, because like they mention in Infinity War, the very beginning of Infinity War, when he wipes the floor with Hulk, he's like, oh, the reason Hulk will never beat me is because I have technique. And like we kind of see that here too. And like I forgot, like he's in there like ducking, dodging, like doing basic fucking martial arts or whatever. But like it's cool to see like that detail where it's not just like I'm a big giant fucking purple dude. I'm about to start thrashing.
I mean, the blade that he has, he knows how to use it. It's a twin blade, and he uses it to its fullest extent.
Yeah.
Strong ass material, whatever the fuck.
It was stronger than vibranium. I'm like, what the fuck is it? Because it was also deflecting Iron Man's lasers.
Yeah, and Thor's lightning.
It was taking hits from Thor's hammers and axe,
and taking hits. I mean, it took a few hits from
Captain Marvel.
But
she broke it, didn't she?
No, Scarlet Witch
broke it. Yeah,
Scarlet Witch would have killed the fucker if it wasn't for
he wasn't like, hey, drop 5 million nukes.
Wait, Thanos had to say like he gets almost to the end of getting his ass completely stripped, and then he has like a bitch move that.
When he was fighting Captain Marvel was a match for Thanos. Thanos was honestly outmatched. I mean, the only time like Thanos got a hit once, headbutted her, didn't work, then threw her to the side. That barely worked because she came back and hit the shit out of him, and then the only time he was able to actually get a good hit is that he took the Power Stone out of the Infinity Gauntlet and then punched her with it. Yeah. Completely bitched out move.
But I mean, it was cool too because I was like, oh, that's neat. Which, okay, I'm about to bring up, in my opinion, the only problem with the movie, and hear me out. When Hulk gets the Time Stone, why don't they just use the Time Stone to time travel?
I mean, there could be the fact that it may take a wielder. But it's also, why didn't they talk to Tilda Swinton to try to get her to do time travel?
Yeah.
That is a big loophole that you could...
But, I mean...
You're going to have to chalk up to them just not fucking thinking things through.
Yeah. And I mean, also, too, like...
They may not necessarily know it's the Time Stone.
They don't know how to use it. The only person who knew how to use it was Doctor Strange.
And Tilda Swinton.
Yeah.
But maybe she doesn't have, like, the same abilities as Strange did.
I mean, they're pretty much on the same level because they read the same books. That's how they learned how to use it, was they read books.
Yeah.
And like it can only be used if it's in the eye of Agamotto. Because
I guess some sort of we can't just like mash your hand together and be
because
like,
I mean,
time traveling.
if Hulk's holding it, I mean, he can't use it because I mean, he can't even he can't withstand it.
Yeah.
He can't withstand the power of it. But if it's in like a gauntlet, like the Eye of Agamotto and then how they manipulate it, then it can be used. I mean, that's how Doctor Strange created those time loops and stuff. It was because he was able to use it through the Eye of Agamotto and then
I guess that's true. It was just one thing that stuck out to me. I'm like, oh, so I guess it's like this just unwritten thing that some of the stones can be used because I mean all Thanos does is just grab the Power Stone and then he's like fucking powered up.
Which I mean, it shows like Thanos is like the only one that can like hold an Infinity Stone in his hand.
Yeah.
But I guess like the use of it all at once is too much of a burden because that's however many six of them. Yeah, and
what is the blue stone again? Is it space?
Space.
Yeah.
Well,
and another thing too. I mean, it would have probably been easier to be honest, just to get the time stone, put it in the gauntlet, because then it's like you have to do more time traveling. It's just like gauntlet, snap, everybody's back.
I mean, I guess you can chalk it up to the fact was like their one mission was to get all the stones together.
And not to make it more complicated,
and not to fuck it up, like because literally, I mean, we saw how much of a struggle it was. Like Hulk could barely withstand the power to even snap to begin with, and maybe they didn't want to mess with like a power they didn't know anything about.
Yeah, exactly.
They just knew they were like, hey, we gotta put these rocks in this glove and snap.
Man, which by the way, like once Thanos gets through his whole fucking barrage, and there's that huge fucking fight at first with Captain America. Fat Thor, which, if you don't know, Fat Thor also has Stormbreaker and Mjolnir because he took it from the past for some reason.
He took it from Thor Dark World Asgard.
Yeah, which was a funny bit.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
this was the Kingdom Hearts of Avengers.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's Captain America, Iron Man, and Fat Thor all fighting Thanos. Badass fight scene.
And Thor literally goes like what I'd consider final form. Like goes, I think Cody
sicko mode.
Sicko mode.
No,
Thor.
it was funny because me and Pat were talking outside, and because I was telling him like I cannot believe Thor fought through the whole fucking movie fat.
Yeah,
I could take like he looked powerful, but also couldn't take him seriously. And it was and Pat was
he
like,
still whooped ass.
Yeah, no, he did. And I thought, and Pat was like, I thought whenever he like turned into his form to fight Thanos, the lightning came down. I thought it would just
I thought he'd
gone.
get buff again.
Yeah. No, he gets a little braid in his beard.
He gets a braid in his beard and is just like electrified all over. It was like All Father Thor or whatever.
No, he's full on God of Thunder.
Yeah. So
yeah, it was a very fun thing, but we're missing one crucial thing to talk about.
We were going to hit it, but yeah, go ahead.
But right before Cap gets his shield broken, what is Cap doing?
Well, first off, so Thanos has Thor on the ropes and is like literally stabbing into
It's
Thor
the
with
scene
Stormbreaker.
from Infinity War where Thor is stabbing the axe, Stormbreaker, into Thanos' chest, but reverse.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, is Thor gonna die? Then, oh fuck, you just hear Mjolnir flying, and it's like, who the fuck's calling Mjolnir?
Yeah.
Goes right into Captain America's fucking hand, and Thor even says, "I knew it."
Yep.
It's literally the part where you see Captain America holding Mjolnir is like far and away the biggest pop. Of
The biggest reaction.
Movie.
Yeah, like, and they've referenced this back in Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron at the very beginning.
Yeah, when
They're like, okay.
yeah, when you hear Captain America just move it a tiny
bit, and Thor's like, because they're like drunk at a party
kind
or
of,
whatever.
he was kind of worried. He was like, I knew it too, because
Yeah.
he's like, I knew you couldn't move it. Then says the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It's
And then Captain America just like starts whipping ass with Mjolnir.
Yeah, no,
he's doing shit that Thor like he shoots lightning to the ground. He hits lightning from the sky on top of Thanos. He's like frying his ass. It's a pretty dope moment.
It really
and like
was.
he's using the Mjolnir to bounce off his shield. To
Yeah,
go,
it's like ricocheting shit.
yeah. He completely been
he's an instant
We got
expert.
we instantly for a little bit there we had Thunder God Captain America.
yeah, like
Which was something that I never thought that we would ever get. I don't even. That's not even. That's like MCU only.
Fan
No,
fic shit right there.
Thor Cap does actually use the hammer.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He is worthy. That's why they did that originally in Age of Ultron, because, I mean, in the comics, Captain America is worthy to wield the hammer.
But what if I'm not mistaken? Aren't like a lot of people aren't really on board with that
I
because
guess-
they're like, oh, only Thor should be able to use Mjolnir or
I
whatever.
mean, there's definitely some people like because but the hammer literally says, "Whosoever is worthy shall wield the power of Thor." So I guess technically anyone in the right moment could have the power of Thor.
Yeah.
And I guess that's kind of like what makes it as powerful, or kind of like just a little side story to the audience. Like in the right moment, everybody has a moment of heroes inside of them that they can
Yeah.
call upon.
Yeah.
And, but it's just an amazing moment.
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah.
like just seeing Cap with like fully furbished shield, Mjolnir in the other hand is just like fuck.
Yeah, and fucking Thanos up until Thanos finally kicks his ass.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh
But-
yeah, and Thor and Captain America accidentally swapped Mjolnir and Stormbreaker, and they're like, "Give me that."
Oh yeah, give me that. No, because literally right as like the armies of Thanos finally come down, we see the Black Order too, which fuck those guys. I seen them again. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
But I mean they're cool though. But anyway, they come down and it's like shit. And it's one of those Captain America moments where he's like, I can do this all day.
It's literally broken Captain America standing there with the broken shield, like literally the last stand, essentially.
But then in his earpiece or whatever he has, you can hear whatever Falcon. You can see, hey Cap. And then and Captain America's like looking behind you and he's like, on your 6, turns around, portal fucking opens.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange portal, and,
You see
the
Black
theater
Panther,
went wild.
Shuri and
And
Okoye,
Yeah.
and then you see all of Wakanda. You see Falcon fly out, and then all the portals from everywhere start opening up. Like
yeah.
literally every person they've ever met. comes
Every
out.
MCU
Yeah.
character's there.
Everybody's
Not
coming
the villains,
in.
but everyone.
Every all the students, all the masters from the Sanctum Sanctorum, Wong. You see the fucking Wasp. You see all of the Guardians. Spider-Man. The whole theater screamed when Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
came
Spider-Man
out.
definitely got the biggest pop out of like all of the people coming out of the portals.
Yeah, Spider-Man got so much love. Everybody was. I'm trying to think of. There was like so many people that were coming out.
Meeks,
Meeks,
though he
Korg-
wasn't dead.
No, Meeks coming out with his new suit. Korg, fucking Valkyrie inner suit on a Pegasus.
Yeah.
Ant-Man finally turns into Giant Man, saves Rocket. Rocket is on War Machine's new Iron Patriot suit. Looks super badass.
Don't know
by
where
the
he
way.
got it,
Don't-
but it's fucking awesome.
He's probably been working on it somewhere in the basement of fucking wherever. Oh, and we should also say Hawkeye's been running around with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, Hawkeye during this whole time is just like, I don't know what the fuck to do with this.
Yeah.
And he gives it to the bad Nebula. He's
But
like,
he
all right,
thinks
I'm
it's
gonna go in the
Nebula.
corner now.
Yeah, because he doesn't know that it's bad Nebula, but then she takes it. Gamora comes in with good Nebula, then good Nebula shoots bad Nebula. No fuck up right there.
Good terms.
No, good terms. Then he runs off with the gauntlet, and then the biggest fight scene in the MCU.
The best fights.
Oh
best
my
fight
god!
scene.
Like not even close.
No, as soon as fucking Giant Man punches one of the giant space snakes, fuck.
Oh, we didn't even mention fucking Pepper.
Oh,
Pepper's
Pepper in
fucking suit.
Pepper in the rescue armor comes
Yeah.
in too. Holy fucking shit!
Yeah.
And then
that was a foreshadowing because you see Tony Stark's daughter with like a blue Iron Man helmet.
with the rescue armor. Oh my god!
Well, that's even foreshadowed in I believe Iron Man 3.
When she wears it,
She wears it for a little bit, but also she's like, man, I see why you wear the suit now.
yeah, she wears I think it's the Mark 42.
Yeah, it's one of them.
Yeah, and she puts it on, and then it's like his daughter Morgan wears the helmet, and oh man, it was so good.
During the fight, they had a scene where they were both synchronized shooting
Yeah.
lasers, and I was
Power couple.
nutting.
No, everybody busted nuts during that.
That
scene.
fight was constant nut. Floor
Pretty much,
covered.
it was nonstop.
They even brought back the thing from Avengers 1 where Thor's lightning charges up Tony's suit. Tony specifically
yeah.
built the suit now to accept.
That was one of the combo moves when they're in the big threes fight with Thanos.
Oh, really?
Iron Man's suit opens up
In the
and
back.
Oh, yeah.
He shoots lightning out of both Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. He shoots this big ass laser beam at Thanos.
Yeah, it's so fucking good. Oh my god, their combos are really good. But yeah, no, that fight scene, and then like them passing on the gauntlet to get it to the fucking van that's in the middle of the other army. Which, by the way, too, Thanos' army was kind of cool. Did not know he had those huge gorilla-looking monsters.
No.
Super fucking sick.
Where the fuck were they?
Which makes me wonder, like, what wiped them out before Infinity War?
Which, I mean, to be honest, was it? Oh my god, was he using Outriders or Chitauri? I don't remember the soldiers that he used to fight. I know I saw a lot of different shit, but no, it was awesome.
It felt like if you've ever seen like the Power Ranger pictures of like every Red Ranger, it was literally that moment for both hero and villain side, pretty much. Because like,
Yeah.
oh, here's all the shit from like Avengers you remember, and all this, and then like for the good guy side, it was like like people had new suits, like the guard, they all did their little poses, and then Captain America literally goes, all right, he just looks around and goes, Avengers assemble,
and
it's
then
just
they're
like
all
it's
run
just
into the fucking fight. Oh my
Yeah.
god! And then fucking like at some point, Scarlet Witch is beating the shit out of Thanos, almost kills him. Thanos
He could have killed him.
He could have killed him. Then Thanos is like, rain fire, and Corvus is like, no!
Yeah.
And then that's what happened. Rain fire is just shooting a ton of lasers
Yeah.
at the ground, which it was so cool because all the students and stuff, the sorcerers protected everybody with their shields.
Yeah, pretty much made
and then,
huge shields.
And then there was... Friday says something just entered the atmosphere because the ship stops and starts firing at the sky, and it's like you know who it fucking is. You know, bam! Captain Marvel charges through, busts through their fucking stupid ass
Their
sanctuary,
giant ass ship, like it's nothing.
and just destroys it. I literally screamed in the theater. I was like, "Yeah, fuck your ship." 'Cause I don't know, like Thanos, like he's a great villain. And he's great enough to piss me off.
Yeah.
Like
Brolin, you're amazing.
Brolin, I love you, Brolin.
Thank you for posting Thanos ass on your Instagram.
Thank you.
I didn't think that was a real post.
He did it
That
for
was real.
Infinity War.
Yeah, he did it.
And he said, you know what? It's time.
And like, what are the hashtags? Like, what? Wiping the Avengers come off?
He's amazing.
I don't know, Pat, but yeah, no, beats the shit out of the ship, and then fucking comes in there and helps out with the Avengers, and then at some point, girl power.
Yeah.
Literally every.
That girl power scene, that was like, I was like, okay, you can chill out. What is Mantis gonna do?
Oh yeah, I thought that was kind of. I was like, what? Well, I mean, what she can? But I don't know. I love them all.
I mean, I thought it was a very cool throwback to the scene in Infinity
Yeah.
War with they did it was like because really right now like the smartest person and the strongest person in the MCU are both female, which I think is really cool.
Oh yeah.
Because
Captain Marvel
yeah.
is stupid strong.
Oh yeah,
she is much stronger than than I originally thought.
Yeah,
like
I love it though.
like
Fuck
the sort of power that we saw from her in this was like if she had been there from the beginning of the fight, Thanos would have been dead before they even.
Oh yeah,
before he had a
she
chance to-
would have killed like no stone Thanos.
yeah,
I think,
no,
pretty
she would
easily.
have helped out the team on Titan. Which I mean, the very beginning of the movie, they were like, "We have new blood. If we have you." Or she said that. I think she's like, "Now you have me." And I mean, she was right. And it was funny because they're all like, we need to work together as a team. Because I mean, Captain Marvel was like, let's just go fuck him up. I'm just gonna go. Which that was super badass too. Whenever they go, when they go to fight Thanos, to get him to reverse everything, she puts him in a chokehold, like, and he can't get out of it.
Yeah, I mean it's legit. Like he's like gasping for air,
Which I mean,
To be fair, he was weakened because
his
was fucked
side,
up.
yeah, sure.
I mean, it doesn't. I mean, like, still though, that's the very beginning, of course, but towards the end, if like she would have been there to fight Thanos before he even got the gauntlet on, then she would have kicked it. She would have killed him before he even touched the gauntlet.
Yeah, no, because I mean,
Iron Man's gauntlet.
Yeah, because I mean, she was kicking his ass at the end. So.
Yeah.
I feel like that was like maybe a criticism they had is kind of like Captain Marvel. She's kind of barely in it, but at the same time, it's kind of like a drama preserving thing because she is so strong that like if she was there, she'd end the movie in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So like,
and we see that like when she gets there, she's like, well, fuck it, let's
like
go find
the
him.
only way like Thanos like gets her away because he cheats. He does like a
He
bitch
has to use
move.
an Infinity Stone, pretty
Yeah.
much. And yeah, also she cuts her hair, which, man, that was a good bit too. When Rocket was just like, "Why don't you just cut your hair again?"
Yeah.
I don't know. I loved it.
It made me very excited. Like we did a whole Captain Marvel review. Like we all very much enjoyed Captain Marvel. This movie made me more excited for Captain Marvel 2 than Captain
Yeah.
Marvel 1
Yeah.
did.
This movie in general just made me so excited for the MCU, and
Which is crazy to say because like we're 22 movies in now, and it's like starting to feel a little fatigued maybe, but like especially with like because I mean they only have Spider-Man left this year.
It's the Earth MCU. I'm tired of the Earth. It's the Earth MCU. I'm tired of it. What do you want?
no, you just speak into the mic.
The Earth. Fuck it. It's the Earth MCU. I'm tired of it. I want the space. I want more otherworldly gods.
and I definitely think now, especially with like all the characters that they that Marvel Studios proper can use now, Disney can use. Like I definitely think we're going to see that, and like we could do a whole predictions podcast probably, but like I'm sure like Galactus is probably on the way.
I mean, we don't know.
We don't know.
I mean, they just acquired him, so we don't know what they're going to do. Thor is definitely part of the Guardians. We see that at the end.
I want him to be a permanent Guardian.
He is.
Pretty
much.
I didn't know that. Thanks for spoiling, jackass.
Before we get to the end, it's so like Thanos goes to snap, and he actually does get a snap off. And at that moment, because I had lost track of time, so I was like, "Oh my god!"
You're so just in.
They're gonna have to fucking do it again.
Yeah, you're just so enthralled into the fight.
And like he snaps and nothing happens, and Tony's like, "Oh, are you looking for this?" And it's like just Iron Man's suit, and he built his arm to be able to take the stones.
Yeah, it's the nanotech.
Yeah, some nanotech made up technology stuff, and he's like, and guess
Nano
what?
machines.
And then Tony snaps, fucking blows up, and like Thanos and his army ashes, which is just like, wow, what a turn of events.
Yeah, well, fuck you, Thanos.
Yeah,
Rocket was about to get eaten.
Yeah, Rocket was about to get eaten.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, and Thanos is the last to ash too. Thanos just sees everything around him, and like for the first time you see him truly defeated.
Yeah.
Like you see, I don't really know what you would call him in Infinity War after Thor stabs him and he's like, you should have gone for the head. Almost like he's like, wow, I barely made it out of that pickle. And this one, he's like, well, I'm done.
No, like he despairs in those final moments.
Yeah,
because he's truly lost.
Yeah, and he ashes away, and it's just like and then we literally get like pretty much a recreation of the Peter and Tony scene from Infinity War with Peter and Tony again, but this time Peter is Tony and Tony is Peter.
Yeah,
and
so
Tony's
sad.
dead forever.
And Tony's dead forever.
It was hearing Peter just constantly say, Mr. Stark, Mr. Stark, oh my god, we won.
And there's even one part where he's like, Tony! And then Pepper just comes over and Pepper
She's like, bye, Goop.
Yeah. And Pepper comes over and is like, we're gonna be okay. Like talking about Pepper and Morgan, obviously, and
you can rest.
Yeah, like you can finally rest, which kind of goes to the fact, like, I mean, it's even shown in as far back as Iron Man 1, where like Tony is a workaholic. I mean, as soon as he creates Iron Man, he's just constantly trying to improve Iron Man. And when we see him in Iron Man 3, like he's already have like over 40 different suits he's made. So it's like he can finally rest now.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't
saved the planet.
Yeah,
and everything. And like I like it makes me wonder. Like, is Morgan Stark gonna be like Ironheart or whatever in 15 years in the MCU? Who knows? But it's a very, I don't want to say a sweet moment because it's definitely like a man. This character that has
started this shit off.
That started this off. I mean, I remember I didn't see Iron Man when it first came out, but like I remember like Robert Downey Jr. was kind of like a whoa, surprising. You want to make a franchise with him as the face, and then
that Iron Man was his career resurrection.
Yeah, and then Iron Man bought back his career and obviously allowed for the modern classic known as Chef. Thank you, Jon Favreau. But no, and it's like a truly sad moment, and like hearing people not like whimper, but like full on sob.
Boo-hoo.
And
like they lost someone.
Literally, people was like, you would have thought
we were at a funeral.
Yeah, like there was people in the front, like multiple rows ahead of us, like you could hear just going. I just like, whoa.
Yeah, a lot of sniffling.
Yeah, a lot of sniffling.
I was like, it's sad, but.
Like a lot of sniffling.
Oh, you're telling them to chill, really?
I didn't say stop clapping during clapping.
That is true.
There was an annoying guy. Fuck you.
I definitely got teary-eyed during that scene, and then it's like they do the whole funeral bit for Tony. Oh, it's not really a funeral. It's like it
was a bit.
Yeah, it was just a bit. They're just kidding. Oh my god, why am I?
Like Tony's original reactor.
Yeah,
is they put it in like in a wreath and they set it out.
Yeah,
adrift on like the river.
Because he tells Pepper in Iron Man 1, he's like, just throw this away. This is useless. And Pepper makes it as like a keepsake for him that says Tony
proof that
Tony Stark has a heart. And she puts that on a reef and like floats it out on the river or whatever. It's very fucking sweet. Made me boohoo. And then like we see like these close-ups of all of these characters, and then there's one person that I'm pretty sure is Harvey from Iron Man 3. Harley from Iron Man 3. Like, I'm pretty sure that's who it was supposed to be.
That is him, yeah.
So
he stood out so much to me, like is someone really important.
Which, I mean, there's a lot of rumor and speculation that he'll be Iron Lad, but who knows?
yeah, so who knows what they're going to do next.
Yeah.
But then, so we get there, and I guess at Tony's funeral, they're just like, well, guess what? We going back in time, baby. We got to...
Wait, sorry. I should say also the really sad moment between Jon Favreau and Morgan Stark. I don't know his Happy.
Yeah,
between Happy and
between
Morgan.
Happy Hogan and Morgan.
He was like, "What do you want to eat?" And she's like, "Cheeseburger." And he's like, "Your dad loved cheeseburger."
Which is a throwback to Iron Man 1, because when he gets back from Iraq and Iron Man 1, Happy's like, "What do you want to eat?" He's like, "I want the best cheeseburger in America," and fucking Happy takes him to Burger King.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was like, I was like. When she said, "I want cheeseburgers," I was like, "That's what Tony would have eaten."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god!"
He's like, "I'll buy you as many cheeseburgers as you want."
Yeah. It made me so sad. I was like, "Man, fuck." But anyways, so I guess at Tony Stark's funeral, they're just like, "We got to go back in time, baby. Some Men in Black shit." And Cap takes it upon himself to take all the stones back to their respective timelines, and he takes Mjolnir with him too, because
he doesn't have his shield anymore.
Yeah, because the shield's broke, so he's just like, I'm taking Mjolnir. Goes back in time, and Sam asks, I think it's Sam that asks, how long will he be gone? And Hulk goes, well, he'll be there as long as he needs, but he'll only be gone here 5 seconds. He's like, okay, great. And Hulk's like, oh, he's not coming back. He's not coming back. And then Bucky points and is like, look over there, and we just see this like figure, and they walk over there, and Sam sits by him and is like, Cap, turns around, it's fucking old man Cap.
Yep.
And so which says Captain America went back to 1945 and lived his life with Peggy, which is just like, fuck.
There's your second chance.
Yeah, like
I'm glad he got it.
Yeah, me too.
He had his second chance, but the bigger thing is while he's talking to Sam, he's like, "Oh, and I bought something for you." Unzips it, gives Sam the fucking shield,
and he's like, "How does it fit?"
Yeah.
Oh,
and he's like, God. It fits like it's for someone else. He's like, "Well, it's not."
Yeah, it's yours.
So Sam's Captain America now.
Yeah, Captain Falcon.
Yeah.
No, it's such a good moment too, because you can also tell that Bucky and Steve talked about this beforehand, planned it out. We're like, let's make him Captain America.
Yeah, so you could totally, which definitely, because my sister and I were talking about this earlier today. Actually, we were talking about it, and I'm like, if Captain America dies, which theoretically we didn't see Steve Rogers die. Like old man Steve Rogers,
he's gonna be new Stan Lee.
Could definitely do something.
He's gonna Chris Evans in old man makeup every movie.
We need this, Chris. You gotta come. But anyways, we were talking about how like if Cap dies, I did like there's always going to be a Captain America. Like either Sam or Bucky was going to have to be it, and like we both thought it would be Sam. But like makes me wonder if what that Disney Plus show is going to be called now, because it's not going to be called
Falcon,
Winter Soldier, and Falcon. Because he's not Falcon anymore. He's Captain America.
Yeah. So which that's also a reference to the comics as well, because Sam becomes Captain America.
Yeah,
which is really neat.
Yeah. No, I mean it's a super nice moment, and then it cuts to Steve and Peggy dancing, because if you remember at the end of Captain America 1, before he goes down in the ship, he asks Peggy on a date. He's like, well, let's go dancing this Saturday, and when he wakes up at the end of Captain America 1, he's like, well, I had a date, because he's like, would you miss anything, Cap? He's like, I had a date. And we see Cap and Peggy dancing in their what I assume home, and then they kiss and the movie ends.
Yeah,
that's it.
Oh, but should have said too, Thor appoints Valkyrie as the Queen of New Asgard.
Of course.
And then Thor joins the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Asgardians of the Galaxy.
Asgardians of the
literally
Galaxy.
It says, I guess we're the Asgardians of the Galaxy, and him and Star-Lord have like a fun bit where Star-Lord's like, but everybody knows I'm the leader, and Thor's like, yeah, okay. Like, it made me so excited for Guardians 3, because I love Guardians 1 and Guardians 2. They're top tier
Thor
film.
fucking slaps with the Guardians crew.
Oh yeah, like that was my favorite, probably my favorite bit stuff in Infinity War, and like Chris Hemsworth in general is there's always been
he's a national treasure.
he's always been a very good Thor. Like even in Thor 1 and Thor 2, he's very good. But in Thor
Best part about Thor 1.
Oh,
and that was a shit movie.
Easily. But like in Thor Ragnarok, he really like
shines.
And like I'm so excited he's he's got to be in Guardians 3.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
you think we're dealing with Adam Warlock too in Guardians 3?
Has to be either that or Loki.
Oh my god, I wonder what's gonna happen because like Gamora's gone.
Yeah, we should mention so there's a bit where Star-Lord's like, Gamora, I thought I'd lost you forever, and it's 2014 Gamora kicks him in the nuts, and then Nebula comes and Gamora's like, is this really the one I'm destined to be with? And Nebula's like, it was either him or a tree.
Yeah.
It's just like,
it was really good.
So something we should mention, after Gamora nuts Quill that's the last time we see her. We don't know what happened to her. Like, she gets to go back into her own time. She just like in the quote unquote present day, like we don't see her again.
Yeah, no, she's...
And we see Star-Lord like looking for her, and it says missing, or it says searching. Yeah. So I assume that's probably going to be answered in Guardians 3. But it looks like our Guardians crew for Guardians 3 is going to be Nebula, Star-Lord, Rocket, Groot, Drax, Mantis, and Thor, which is like...
The good lineup.
Hell yes!
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, I thought, like I said at the beginning of the show, Nebula was great in this movie. Like, I thought she'd always... Karen
Gillan.
Gillan, you're right. I always thought this played Nebula really good, but like here, I thought she was like shine through.
Or we get to really see her personality and her development.
I mean, and just think about the stacked lineup in this movie. I mean, like it's the biggest crossover event in cinematic history.
I mean, they said there's going to be one scene where 70 actors are present, and fuck me, that scene was amazing.
Yeah. What makes this movie so good? Because that was a fact we knew going in, because they said that months and months ago, but I literally forgot until it happened. Just like, oh fuck, this is it. This is the big end all be all battle.
Yeah, it's truly. I think everybody needs to see Endgame. Like,
I think people should watch the Avengers quadrad or whatever it is,
quadrilogy.
I don't even know. Really, like I don't like. Obviously, watching Avengers 1 and Avengers 2 will add stuff to this, but so will watching the rest of the MCU. I think you can go in pretty much just watch Infinity War and like kind of just be on board.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, otherwise, or I'd be like, well, if you want to get everything in Endgame, watch all 3 Iron Mans, watch all 3 Captain Americas, watch all 3 Thors, watch both Guardians, watch the Avengers,
watch Ant-Man,
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Just take a couple of nights, watch the movies, you'll get it.
Yeah.
Watch one movie a night for a month.
Yeah, pretty much what it is. Yep. But I that's the movie. What? I'm trying to think. If you had to rank it, and I know it's hard doing it in the heat of the moment, if you had to rank it against the other MCU movies, where does it rank? Like, you don't have to give it a specific number, but like, is it your top 1? Is it top 3 for sure? Is it top 5? Is it,
Number 1 right now for me is this movie, is Endgame. Second is Guardians 2. 3 is Infinity War. Those are 3 amazing movies.
Yeah.
And Endgame just said...
I think it's just
knocked them down.
Yeah, maybe because of my excitement, but I definitely want to do a rewatch of both Infinity War and Endgame. But I think that I would put Endgame up there. Oh god, I almost fell asleep. Sorry.
His body's been shutting down for the last hour.
Yeah, I have. I've been trying to not fall asleep over here. I think the big thing is I'm afraid that on a second watch through, I might see this movie as more messy than it originally was.
See, that's what I thought when we rewatched Infinity War last month, and like I thought Infinity War was better on a second watch.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's going to take me actually sitting down and watching it to to get that, to see if I like it still, or if not like it, but see if it matches up with my expectations. But right now, Endgame is number 1. That is the best battle scene I've ever seen. I watched Game of Thrones too, so I've seen like the Battle of the Bastards. So I can guarantee you that the battle scene at the end of Endgame, I would say, is definitely better than the Battle of the Bastards, and that's kind of hard to beat.
Man,
And people, I think,
don't know. We haven't seen the finale of Game of Thrones.
I mean,
I said Battle of the Bastards.
I know. I'm saying that.
Oh,
that,
no,
that
there-
could
there-
top this.
yeah, no, there's been.
yeah, but I'm saying it's better than the Battle of the Bastards. It's the best one I've seen so far.
Yeah, no. From what I've heard, people talked about Battle of the Bastards is kind of like big, like in fight scenes in history, whatever. But for me, it's number one. And honestly, like I love it so much, I want to watch it again.
Yeah, that's what I told Colt in the car. I'm like, I mean, if you ask me right now, I think it's the best one. But I also immediately want to watch it again. Like, what I really want to do is watch Infinity War and then watch Endgame back to back. Watch it as one complete set. Because, I mean, originally this was going to be a two, like, Infinity War Part 1, Part 2.
Yeah.
And I really want to watch them just back to back to see, like, them as one cohesive 5.5 hour extravaganza, I guess. But, man, it truly needs to be seen to be believed. What about you, Pat?
I feel like I can't give like a definitive number, but just for what it is, what it represents, and everything that we get in it, all the gifts, it's near the top. I can't give it a number, but there's nothing else like it.
Yeah,
it just everything in that last third of the movie, the final battle, like it's the crescendo. It's the button on everything. Just to see all these different pieces from Scarlet Witch, Captain America, the big three fight, Captain Marvel, the girl power scene. Like it was all just like everything was just amazing.
Yep.
And you have to see it.
Yes.
Yep.
There's nothing else like it.
So we all thought it was an okay movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, and like we can sit here all day and try to talk you into go seeing it, but at the end, like to me, something like it's such a big part of pop culture at this point. Like I feel like, I mean, I guess this has always been my thinking. I like being on top of things in pop culture. I mean, hell,
I
I
have
mean,
mad FOMO, yo.
that's what like that's what the
Fear of missing out.
yeah, that's what like part of this podcast is about a little bit, but it's like I like being on top of that stuff, and like I feel like Endgame truly like we can talk about the ethics of Disney owning 20% of the film industry later, but like it's such a weird and special thing that will not be
Done.
I mean, this experience will never be duplicated in our lifetimes again. I mean, Disney will try to do it again with whatever comes next in the MCU, sure, but like
that'll be forever from now.
I mean, but
This is the first time that it's ever been done.
Yeah, and like you can say all you want, like, oh yeah, too much Marvel, whatever. They haven't done it justice, but it's like, when has this ever been done before?
Yeah,
like you can give that much credit.
Like a 22 movie timeline in an 11-year span, and it makes sense.
The only other thing I can think is crazy as like the Marvel MCU is fucking Star Wars.
And even then, it's like whenever I used to think Star Wars was the saga series, right?
Yeah.
But now looking at it, it's just like
it pales in comparison.
like whenever you have people bitching about like such small details in Star Wars, of course it's got 35, 40 years of influence, right? But it's just like, holy shit, the information dumps we get per year for Marvel, and it still feels fresh.
Yeah. I guess maybe just because, and I guess Star Wars could do it too, but like, they're limitless. I think after Disney acquired that part of 20th Century Fox, like, I think now they have like over 10,000 characters they can use in movies and stuff, like just free range, which like, that's nuts.
Yeah,
like,
which it'll be,
and that's not all heroes, obviously.
Yeah, and it'll be a while before they ever get to the X-Men.
Yeah.
But like just the fact that they have like some of those characters now, like they can just do so much more. And like people talking about like, oh, that's such a problem. Like they need to be their own thing. It's like, yeah, when the X-Men was their own thing, they had probably one good film, and that was fucking Logan. Every other X-Men sucked.
Logan is such a good.
Which
film.
I will dispute the. I will say X-Men has a spotty history, but I will not say Logan is the only good X-Men movie. I will dispute that, but that's for another time.
I enjoyed personally, like any other X-Men movie I enjoyed was probably First Class. That's about it. But
Days of Future Past I really liked too.
Days of Future Past is okay.
Days of Future Past was actually
Let's just
pretty.
name them all.
And let me tell you right now, Phoenix
Looks pretty good.
looking fucking.
I
Phoenix
actually
looks
want to
pretty
see it. Yeah.
I mean, I was burned by Apocalypse, but like I was like, I'm still cautious about Phoenix, but like
It looked okay in the
it's
trailer.
like, not bad. It doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
Didn't look like Sean
Like-
Hobbs. Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
Sean Hobbs looks fucking Hobbs
Awful.
and
It
Shaw.
looks shit as hell. Same thing with Gemini Man. They both look like dog shit.
Okay, Gemini Man's different.
Oh, wait. I wouldn't compare. Yeah.
Okay, Sean Hobbs looks
fucking
better
awesome.
than Gemini Man, but it
Yeah.
still looks bad.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know if it looks
That's fair.
bad. I think it looks
But yeah,
badass.
anybody complain like it's just there's more to do now. There's more to do.
And obviously, we're not going to sit here and like, well, if you don't see it, you're a bad person. If you don't see it, you
Nah.
don't see it, whatever. But like, I don't like it's.
Like, don't shit on other people's fun.
It feels weird to like be living through something big, like I can't believe I'm about to bring this up, but like I was watching the Beyonce documentary a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And I was, I think to myself sometimes, I'm like, man, it must have been so weird to like live in the time of like while Queen is coming up on the rise or Prince coming up on the rise or, somebody we would see as big now. But I'm like, we do. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Beyonce and Gaga and
Gaga's the only one.
and like, I mean, whoever else you want to name.
I mean, Justin Bieber.
Fuck you.
Sure.
Gaga Queen.
I mean, I don't like him, but still, he became big.
But
Well,
like,
he's a gas station attendant now, so it's okay.
yeah, and post on Instagram as Cody and I looked at his Instagram for a half hour before the movie started. but
It's a for someone to be as influential as him, it's a hellscape.
yeah, it's a bad Instagram account. But anyways, unlike ours, Instagram.com/AOSCH podcast. But anyways, and like I feel like because I also think about it was like, man, how would it have been to like live when Star Wars Episode 4 or when A New Hope came out? But like while we're not living when the first Star Wars comes out, we are living through like this new fresh material for a whole new generation.
Oh, yeah.
Like this, the 7, 8, and 9 are an original trilogy to like a whole new generation of fans, and like that's something I think is really cool, and like I never really think about in the moment, but like if
We're history.
if I take time to like step back for a second, I'm like, we do have the big like pop stars and like the big cultural phenomena, movies and music happening today. It's just you just got to step back and look at it
Yeah.
sometimes,
And it's totally okay to be a part of it. And-
yeah, of
and it's totally
course.
fun to be a
and
part
guess
of
what?
it.
If you're fatigued by it and don't want to partake in watching them, you don't have to.
Yeah, go listen to Mumford and Sons.
That's well, that's the thing about existing. It's like you control what you consume. You can if you're tired, you can go away and come back to it anytime you want. But like you said, just like being present in this like pop cultural moment. Because I was thinking when the movie was over, like when I was 18 years old, watching the very first Iron Man in theaters and just seeing everything that's come after it. It's really surreal to be there when it started and seeing it all happen. And then I saw the end tonight. And
Been in theaters opening night for all 4 Avengers movies, and for a large portion of the MCU movies.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking today. Like, I saw every Phase 3 movie in theaters on opening night, just about, besides Ant-Man and Wasp. Like, it's pretty crazy to think about. And then I saw several phases. Like, I saw original Avengers at midnight when it came out. Which, by the way, also want to mention, like, if you're a movie theater employee listening to this, fucking shout out to you, like, having to deal with just the mass of people. Because I couldn't imagine it, and I know there's some just dipshits that come in there and just completely are idiots and like was like, oh, I'm just going to spill my whole bag of popcorn and I won't worry about it.
No, I saw that. I was coming back from the bathroom. There's really just a massive pile of popcorn in one of the halls. Like, seriously, we barely started this.
Yeah, and like, so shout out to y'all, but like, I'm so glad now. Like, midnight, like Thursday night preview isn't just a midnight showing, because I remember
Thank
with
God.
like Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2, like the Thursday night showing was just at midnight. And then I remember it wasn't really till episode 7, I feel like it was like, hey, this starts at like 10 p.m. It's like, hell yeah, early. And like we just saw Avengers at 6:30. So like shout out, and like I know there's like several AMCs across the country that are staying open for 96 hours straight to accommodate all the people seeing Endgame. So like if you work in a movie theater, fucking shout out.
If you're going to see the movies this weekend or just movies, like be a person, a human being, and treat these people well. Don't make an ass of yourself and just make a mess.
Be respectful.
And if you listen to this on Friday morning, I do want to say that when you go tonight to go see Avengers, I guess I wouldn't be listening.
If you've already seen it,
if you're
you
going
better go back in time and clean it.
If you're going back to see it or whatever, if you're going to a restaurant that is somewhere around your local theater, they're probably swamped with sweaty nerds, super excited for Captain Marvel's hot haircut or something. I don't know.
She look like a grandma.
Yeah, she kind of looks like grandma in that. Like,
tip your waiters and waitresses well.
Yeah, because they're dealing with some
keep
bullshit.
your voices down. The other people in the restaurant maybe haven't watched it.
Yeah,
yet.
exactly.
Yeah, and
I thought they were fighting, but I couldn't. But they're friends. I don't know.
Also, try to wipe your tears when you walk out of the theater, so the people in line are like, "Oh shit,
why are they crying?
why are they
God.
crying?"
Everybody get allergies. It's full of pollen.
Man, there's so much pollen in the theater. But yeah, I think that wraps us up here.
All right, good night.
Thank you everybody for listening to this very sleepy and very spoiler-filled non-canon file. If you like what we do here, you can leave us a like, a review, a subscription, a rating on any of the services we're on, such as SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Overcast, Spotify, all those great services. You can follow us on Instagram. Instagram.com/AYCH podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at AYCH podcast. You can follow us on twitch.tv/AllYouCanHear, which you're listening to this on Friday. We didn't stream this week. Back to our regular streaming schedule next week. In fact, I'm streaming Tetris next week, so get fucking stoked. You watch all of our Twitch VODs on our YouTube. All You Can Hear on YouTube. Simple as that. It's linked on our Twitter. You can find it there. And then Monday, we're releasing our 2-year anniversary show, which is like, holy shit, and wrapping up our most content-filled month ever with our 8th and final episode of the month. We did 2 non-canon files, a Star Wars file, and then 5 canonical episodes this month. It was like, holy shit. And then May's looking pretty busy too, so get ready for more of the AYCH you know and love. And you can follow me, Tanner, on Twitter at Tanner1495.
I am Colt, and you can follow me on Twitter at ColtD00. Just a random guess at what's to come in the MCU. I think Loki is going to teleport to Galactus. He's going to talk to Galactus because I saw that scene in the Lego Marvel Superheroes video game.
Thanks, Colt.
It's almost 3.
This is Patrick. Thank you for listening. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at John Lost His Name. You can follow my art on Facebook at John Lost His Name Art.
And this is Wenzel. Thank you for listening. You can follow me on Twitter at Wenzel Wilkie. You can follow my art Instagram at WorldWenzy. Thank you.
My name is Cody, and you can follow me at CODDOC11, CODDOC11 on Instagram and Twitter, but mostly Instagram. Also, what the fuck happened with the Infinity Stones that's in the movie? We don't know. We don't see.
Where's Mjolnir?
Well, it was taken back with...
I know, but where the fuck did it go?
Probably back to the time period which it came.
Oh,
shit.
Yeah, they probably gave it back to...
Man, that's boring
Wait,
shit.
we had this big-ass conversation about...
I want the Mjolnir.
Either that or Steve just fucking kept it.
It's
in
up his
house.
ass. Anyways, bye.
Bye.